Hello and welcome back to the New View. So, in the last episode, we discussed censorship and basically how YouTube took down my video discussing trans rights. Um, yeah, yeah, dude, it was just awful. Like we're literally crying about it right now. It was so hard to make this
We've been
intro.
crying about it for over a month.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
And we'll
It's been
never
so long.
stop. It was so traumatizing.
Bro, it was so traumatizing. That one video was the video that made my channel.
It did, and that's why we're gonna talk about Joe Biden.
Oh my god. So in this episode we're gonna talk about basically
Joe Biden's a
like
socialist, and he's putting all these socialist programs to give black people free fried chicken, free grape soda, free housing.
but yeah, we're gonna be talking about
lower income
billionaires,
ghetto basketball playing, pot smoking,
Free heroin,
We're-
free guns, free homicides,
we're gonna be talking
free police brutality,
we're gonna be talking about how
free
billionaires
oxygen, free no oxygen.
like what we think about billionaires going into space.
Free sickle cell, free monkeypox, free wide nostrils,
Oh my god.
free big lips, free chicken addiction.
How much oxygen are you entitled to?
Yeah, dude. So are you guys done making black jokes yet?
What do you mean? Just talking about it. What's your
How
opinion
many
on
days?
Joe Biden getting all these socialist programs?
How many days?
Socialist program? I mean, I wouldn't call him a socialist at all.
I'm saying that he's talking about he's proposing socialist programs.
Yeah.
Such as what?
Mortgage assistance. He's just printing money and giving it to people to pay mortgage.
Oh, stuff like that. One sec.
Child credits, where he just is going to give like $8,000 to families that have a few kids for no reason. Just print more money.
That's not even necessarily socialist. That's still a pretty moderate view. Socialism
not.
would be just taxing the rich more heavily and
But it's a
distributing it
socialist
to
program.
everyone, especially the poor. I mean, it's
same
socialist-ish
concept.
in
It's the
nature,
same
but like
mindset.
it's
the
still a
same
pretty moderate
mindset.
view.
But it's a
It
socialist
like
program.
it doesn't matter what the mindset is. It matters what the policy
Well,
is.
Yeah, and the
pretty much the
policy is
same thing.
socialist.
Not exactly.
Yeah,
like
it's a
I can
policy
see
that a socialist would propose.
I can see why you would say that's socialist, but that's still a pretty
A
moderate.
socialist would propose that
policy.
exact policy.
Yeah. Printing
I
money
mean,
and
socialist.
just giving out free money is socialism.
That's not socialism. Isn't about printing money. It's about taking money that's already printed, that's in the hands of people that have too much of it, and handing it to people that are less
It's about the
fortunate.
government giving people money for free. That's what it's about.
Well, I mean
You're just
that.
kind
Well,
of nitpicking.
that money's taken
Doesn't
from like billionaires and millionaires and giving it to people who are way less fortunate. But speaking of billionaires and millionaires, that brings us to our topic.
Hunter
about,
Biden.
About like Jesus.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, let's talk about this Hunter Biden scandal. What do you think he's doing with all the money?
Bro, I thought we were talking about like fucking billionaires going into space.
Hunter Biden's a billionaire. He probably sends all of his COVID vaccines to space. They can be irradiated
he owns 25% of China.
by space cosmic radiation. They can turn everyone into lizards.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about
He owns a stake in Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Where all the documents are going to come out. It's going to disclose all this. I've tried to explain it to you many times.
Talking about our oligarch, Hunter Biden.
It's going to come out. My ex-wife. It'll show my ex-wife is involved. Jeffrey Epstein.
The secret puppet master pulling all the strings. He's the real POTUS. He's exploiting Joe Biden's dementia and taking over the White House.
I can't tell if you guys are joking or not. I mean, obviously you guys are joking, but I've not really heard of this.
Hunter Biden's a pedophile.
Honestly, I honestly stopped watching the news a while ago.
Yeah, what do you think about the allegations of Hunter Biden there's photographs of Hunter Biden sitting with Jeffrey Epstein on his island?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen any of that, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Joe Biden's scummy. It makes sense that his family is scummy too.
Oh, just because they're genetically related.
Well, Yeah, I guess that does not really make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And how do you know? He just has pictures with Epstein. You know, it doesn't mean he's a pedophile or a sex trafficker.
Guess not. I mean, but why would he go there though?
I don't know. Maybe he just thinks that Jeffrey Epstein's cool. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, dude, totally cool.
Seemed like a nice guy.
Changed a lot of people's lives. He gave the unfortunate a lot of cash.
Oh yeah, dude.
He gave all those children free food and board.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Plus,
so great.
huge salary.
Yeah.
All these tips and bonuses.
Yeah, lots of tips.
Oh wait, shit. What if? Oh my god. Jesus fuck, dude.
Quite a few
Yep, all those
bonuses
shit.
too.
Oh yeah, those happy endings.
Few capital gains. We're not talking about stocks though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We know something else is going up though.
There's this movie called The Big Short. This guy's basically like, "You're an autistic stock picking savant. Now you're trying to get into bonds. Why don't you just stick with stocks? We've all done very well."
I don't think I've
It's
seen
funny. It's funny.
Dude, you watch a lot of like finance movies.
There's only like 6.
Only 6?
Yeah.
Alright, what are they?
Wolf of Wall Street, The Big Short,
Wolf of Wall
Wolf
Street.
of Wall Street,
The Commuter.
Big Short, the Wall Street movies.
Dude, we still gotta watch the rest of Wolf of Wall Street.
Wait, so Wolf of Wall Street, Big Short, Wall Street movies, Margin Call, and Boiler Room.
The Commuter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that.
Hey, Goldman Sachs, on the behalf of the American middle class, fuck you.
On behalf of my broke ass, fuck you. That really got you, huh? What's your deal, man? That guy was just going off on Liam Neeson for like no reason. He's like, "What's your deal, man?" It's funny.
He didn't want to be harassed. He was just commuting.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson should understand. He's the commuter.
Yeah.
Remember when Liam Neeson like talked about hating black people?
Yeah, he wanted to beat him up.
I actually think I might know a bit about this.
Oh yeah, what do you know about it?
I know that he like said something racist and that he got a lot of shit for it. That's basically the
Well,
extent
he
of what I
talked
know
about how he used to be really racist, mainly.
Oh, so now
He
he's
was
like,
a nigger raped my friend.
he actually said that?
Well, no, it was on TV, so he didn't say it, but basically, he was just like, so, I went out tonight, and I got my nigger beating club, and I waited outside at these low-income neighborhoods so that I could beat the shit out of the next nigger I saw.
Sounds about right.
He's like, "I'll just do it with every nigger until I catch the one."
Yeah, he was basically describing the thought. It was just like, oh, they messed with one of mine, I'm gonna mess with one of theirs.
Shit.
It's fun.
That's pretty crazy.
But, like, they actually didn't get, like, much shit over it.
Really?
Yeah, because he's, like, pretty liberal. Usually they would just
Yeah, they might have given a shit for a little while, but then kind of just rubbed it off and forgot about it.
Like,
Oh, I
remember
see.
they were, like, way more mean to, like, Tim Allen because he didn't know about spades.
Yeah. True.
Like, he just didn't know how to play a card game. Liam Neeson basically talks about how he was gonna murder the next black person he saw.
I mean, I can agree that's ridiculous. Like, it's not
And he didn't get
it's
any
not a huge
pushback.
deal if you don't know how to play a card game. I
Yeah.
don't know how to play most card games.
And he didn't get any pushback for it. But then, like, Tim Allen doesn't know how to play a card game, and he's an evil racist.
Yeah, I do think I can agree that is absolutely
And
ridiculous.
the big thing is because Tim Allen was a lot more conservative leaning than Liam Neeson, so he got way more pushback.
I see. But yeah, so how about those billionaires going into space?
Is Conor McGregor a billionaire?
I don't think so. I think he's
No.
like a multi-millionaire though.
How many multi?
He's really stupid with his money. I think he just like blows it on shit as he goes along.
How much do you think his net worth is?
I don't know, probably like 200 million.
He's practically a billionaire. He'll get there.
He's
eventually.
almost there. Yeah, he'll probably get there.
Yeah. Remember, wasn't he on welfare before he got?
He was on welfare and learning how to become a plumber.
Funny.
Really? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so Jeff Bezos going into space. Yeah, he's oh boy. So there is a lot to say about
So you're
like him
probably
going into space.
crazy over that high. If you had that much money, you'd definitely go to space.
I mean, as much as I like space, like I think that is absolutely unacceptable. Like
Why?
we like if you have that much money, like we need to focus on fixing our planet right now rather than trying to leave it. Like I mean,
You just
climate
left
change
it
is a
for like
huge
2
deal,
seconds, literally.
but still, it costed millions of dollars just
It
to
was
go
out
into
of Jeff
space.
Bezos' own pocket, though.
Yeah, still, he could have been
And
using
two
that money
people
to
that
like
helped him
fight
launch his
climate
rocket,
change.
he paid him 100 million each because 100
He
million's
can
nothing.
literally end homelessness. He can fight climate change. He can literally reverse climate change. He could have done all that shit. Yet he decides, "Oh, I'm just going to go to space for a little bit.
What if
It's so cool."
Let me do the math.
Fuck Jeff
Let
What
me-
if
Bezos.
let
the
me do the
planet was
math.
going to be destroyed eventually? Then,
Connor.
like, wouldn't it just be like more cost effective in the
Connor.
long term to
It-
just invest in space travel
Let
instead?
me-
The planet, like scientifically, first of all, there's much debate over like when the world is supposed to end,
But
but
the
most
thing,
scientifically, most people agree that it'll be in about uh
I did the
5 billion years when
but
the
there's
sun
no debate
is.
on whether or
I
not
did
it
the
will
math.
end.
He couldn't even
I
come
mean,
close to ending homeless.
Actually, there is a bit.
Jeff,
What are you talking about? He can end
no, he
homelessness.
can't come even close to ending homelessness in like
How do you know?
in even this country. 150 billion divided by 500,000, which is about the average price of a house nowadays in America, is only 300,000. So you could like end homelessness for like maybe if you wanted, if they got like the cheapest of the cheapest houses, you could end homelessness for 600,000 people.
You can still first of all like build shelters that are more cost
I mean, he
effective.
could basically just help, but he couldn't cure homelessness by himself.
You couldn't come even close.
I mean, like he could definitely end world hunger though.
And this is assuming
I mean,
he gives
maybe.
away every dime he has too. And has nothing. Which I mean, he wouldn't have really have any money because he doesn't get a salary from Amazon.
What do you mean? I mean he started Amazon. That's
All
how
of
he
his
gets his money.
all his money is in Amazon stock. He owns a ton of the company. He doesn't get a salary from Amazon.
Well, still he makes money from Amazon.
So yeah, but he can't just sell all that stock at once. It would absolutely tank the price, and there's huge restrictions on it. He can only sell a itsy bit of it at a time.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't have money coming in. So if what I'm saying is, if he if he just used all his money, that would include selling all his shares of stock. If he used all his money to cure homelessness, and then he would have no money coming in from.
I mean, Amazon still gets a lot of money. I mean, he would definitely be able to just make it all back.
No,
So
wouldn't,
he
wouldn't
has
own
no.
any of the.
He is
Wouldn't own
very
any shares
financially
anymore.
comfortable.
He wouldn't own any shares anymore. He would have sold all of them.
I mean, like he's Jeff Bezos. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
you take away Jeff Bezos'
he would sell
money,
his
he's not
whole
really Jeff
ownership.
Bezos anymore.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
he
he'd
would
just
sell
make
his
it all
whole
back.
No, he wouldn't because all his money is of the stock he owns. If he sells all the stock he owns, he sells all his ownership. He can't
Well,
make it back.
what if he just didn't sell all the stocks and he just like kept like one or two?
What I'm
He'd
trying
be able to
tell
make
you,
money
all I'm
easily.
telling you is that if he sold all his money and became homeless, he couldn't come even close to ending homelessness. That's all I'm telling you.
Well, he could definitely help a fuck ton at least, and he could end world hunger. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, the UN could end world hunger.
I mean, of course they can. Essentially, all governments can end world hunger. Like here's the thing: world hunger is really not that hard to solve. Like it's all a matter of
I don't know.
resource distribution.
I'd say some governments probably couldn't tackle world hunger.
They definitely could.
I don't think North Korea could.
Well, North Korea could like start by focusing on the North Korean people.
Yeah,
They
but
could
I mean,
end
like,
hunger there.
I feel like a lot of countries aren't like equipped to like really handle world hunger.
I'm talking about like all the countries like together. They'd be able to end world hunger. Like it's not it's not as hard of an issue to solve as you think. Like literally,
No, I just don't
like,
think anyone cares.
I mean, a lot of people do care.
Well, not
Actually,
enough to really do anything about it, then.
people do care. The problem is like the corporations and the government are preventing world hunger from being solved because they're the ones that are perpetuating it.
Well, I mean, they're not really preventing it. It's just people don't care enough.
People do care enough.
Well, if
The
they cared
governments
enough,
and corporations.
they could buy food from the corporations.
Well,
The corporations have no problem with people buying food from them and then sending it to starving countries.
well, here's the thing though. The corporations are causing this world hunger.
Are they causing it?
Well, because they're ineffectively using the resources that they have. They're giving food which could they're giving food to livestock instead of like actual people. Like a bunch of food is just being wasted for absolutely no reason. It's completely unnecessary to just feed all this livestock and instead just give it to people. World hunger would essentially be solved.
But I mean, there's tons of food that goes uneaten anyway. I mean, they could just give
Yeah,
that
they could
too.
that too. That's what I was saying as well. Like they waste so much fucking food. Like when once food goes after a certain date, not even goes bad, but like after a certain date, like in grocery stores, they're instructed to literally throw it away, not even give it to homeless people, literally just throw it away. They could literally be giving this food to like people who are hungry, people who need it.
So what I'm hearing is that these corporations are basically just giving out free food in dumpsters, and if you took all the free food from the dumpsters, you could end world hunger. Is that what you're saying?
Uh, well, here's the thing though.
Because what I'm hearing is that these corporations are just right
Well,
before
they're
food goes
throwing it
bad, they're
away.
giving away food. They're just putting it out there for people to take for free, pretty much.
Most people don't go to dumpsters though. That's the thing.
So, but if people did, if they swallowed their ego and they went dumpster diving and took that food and then gave it to starving countries, they could have ended world hunger. Is what you're telling me?
Well,
That's interesting.
well, here's the thing though. We don't even need that. First of all, we don't even know where this food is being thrown away. Second of all,
Dumpsters,
okay, sure, but
and then
but
that goes to the landfill. So you'll find it at the landfill
okay, but here's the thing. Like that food gets contaminated really easily with all the other stuff in the
with all the other
dumpsters,
food.
and like a bunch of stuff that's being thrown away. All the crap, all the garbage, all of that stuff. Like this contaminates food pretty easily. They could literally just skip this by just directly giving food to people for free.
I mean, they could just take it from the garbage if they wanted. It's free.
I mean, like you'd have to like here's the problem. Like a lot of dumpsters are actually pretty secure. Like a lot of them are actually fairly hard to get into. Some of them are even locked.
You just wait for somebody to throw something away,
I mean, I guess you could, but
and then just wait like a little trash gremlin. And then they probably won't be paying much attention. You just put your hand
They,
over the lid,
they
and then when
should
they close
here's
it,
the problem though. Like
they
all
should
this
go
shit is
work for
completely
they should go
unnecessary.
work for the corporation that puts the food out there and earn their right to eat.
You need to earn the right to eat. You you can't just eat. You have to work for the government or the corporations to eat. But yeah, it's just fucked up. Like I mean, there's all this food out there and it's being fucking wasted. It's a disgrace.
wouldn't it just be easier just to create agriculture for the starving countries instead of just giving them food?
No, because all this land is being taken away and being wasted for livestock. And I mean,
Even
Well, I
if we
mean,
like
just
it,
gave a bunch of food to countries, the abusive governments and tons of countries aren't just going to let the people have the food. They control the food supply. So it's a lot of this starving isn't even lack of resources. It's the people aren't. The government controls like the food supply and isn't letting the people have it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
the
so
problem.
just
That
giving food to countries doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't do anything.
I'm saying what needs to happen is
It's not a lack
corporation
of
both
food in the
corporate.
countries.
Yeah, I know
It's the
that's.
government controlling the food chain.
But Ryan, this is what I've been saying the entire time. It's the government and the corporations that are preventing people from being fed. It's
Yeah,
because they want people to
so
not be
just
fed.
giving a
It's
bunch of food to
disgusting.
just giving a bunch of food to countries won't do jack shit to solve the problem.
If the countries comply and actually like let people
Yeah,
have
that's the
food,
problem.
then
If the countries would
that's what I'm saying though.
comply, then there wouldn't really be anywhere near as much starvation as there
Yes,
is around the
that's what
world.
I'm saying. This is
Yeah,
why
but
government is an issue.
you're saying we should just give a bunch of food to countries and it'll solve the problem, but it won't. Just distribute
I'm
all this
saying we
food.
should give food to people. That's what I'm saying. Jay's the one who mentioned countries. I'm saying food needs to directly be given to people. I'm not disagreeing with you here. Hold on, I'm gonna get some more water. Yeah, so we have all the resources necessary to end world hunger.
Yeah, but no one wants to.
The people do. The government and corporations just don't.
They're not
That's
really
the problem.
trying hard enough. They don't seem to really want it. It seems more like they just say, like, that'd be nice. And they just kind of leave it at that.
Who, the people or the corporations?
I feel like more people say that they want to end world hunger than, like, actively do anything to end world hunger.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
very true.
I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm just saying like the blame needs to be shifted to the corporations and the government for preventing people to eat and failing to distribute food to people, not the people themselves. I mean, like individuals can only do so much to help with world hunger.
Yeah, I mean, if a bunch of people work together and tried, they probably could do, like, at least something instead of nothing.
I mean, you know what, Jay?
Instead of just saying-
You're not wrong.
Instead of just
I
saying,
do
"I
think-
have a dream."
Yeah, instead of just being like a stupid nigger and just saying I have a dream, maybe like a little bit of activism would be cool.
No, I actually agree, Jay. Like
Yeah, I
this,
agree
this is
too.
true.
Martin
Like
Luther
people
King's a
should.
cock.
I do think people should like be more active in trying to help stop like to stop world hunger. But the problem is like the corporations and the government are the biggest barriers.
Don't worry, Joe Biden will solve world hunger. He'll give everyone chicken assistance.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
Strawberries.
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 I don't think that's even a stereotype.
It just sounds really funny when you say it. Strawberries.
I guess. I guess so.
Rainberries.
Blueberries.
Blackberries. The stupid kind of berries.
Blackberry.
Blackberries. Black people.
I don't really like blackberries that much. I don't know why. I just can't figure it out. They just leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, dude.
That poor Paul Miller, am I right?
Oh my. Yeah, dude, for
He
sure.
deserves the right to a fair trial. Ryan Smith.
You know who could probably end world hunger?
Who?
Chris Chan.
Oh my god. Oh no, not Christian.
Why? What's your problem with Chris Chan?
Well, I mean, I will say I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do have some problems with Christian, but like overall, like I do think Christian is like a bit like treated pretty unfairly.
You're not saying anything bad about Chris Chan. She'll use her goddess powers on him.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. But
He's
yeah,
married to Mewtwo, dude.
what? Married to Mewtwo? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
dude, you better watch out. One of the strongest Pokemons.
I mean, like Christian. I do think like there's some stuff you can say about Christian.
Yeah,
I
Christian's
don't know
a
if I want to
goddess,
say
dude.
a lot. Uh, is she really claiming to be a goddess?
What do you mean claiming to be? That sounds pretty rude. She identifies as a goddess.
Really?
Respect her
Um,
identity.
Okay then. But
She has powers, dude. She can use
like
the Chris
what?
Kamehameha.
Like what kind?
She
Like
can use
Chris.
the Chris Kamehameha, dude.
Chris.
She goes like Chris Kamehameha, and then you'll be cursed.
Oh shit!
She believes in all those wacky spiritual things, like even crazier than spirit science.
Like, so you're saying spirituality's crazy, or you?
Kind of stuff Christian spirit science believe in, yeah.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that like.
Remember when
I mean,
Jordan B said that
I will
Jews were
admit, like they
aliens?
do. I will admit they
What?
do take it a bit too far. Like I do
Jews
think
were-
spirit
Oh,
science is a
yeah,
bit
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
When he said that Jews were like time traveling aliens.
Yeah, that's my main issue with spirit science is like their anti-Semitism, like
Fun.
talking about like Jews.
But
being
it's
time
weird because
traveling.
they're like very like.
I don't know how the fuck they even came to that conclusion. I mean, I watched like their first video, something like I forgot what it was called, but like their like first movie. I don't. What the fuck do they call their movies again?
I think they're just spirits. It's called spirit science.
Yeah, I watched their first movie. They said that like Jews came from like Mars or something, and that like they want to go to war with like Atlantis and like how like it's just it's crazy shit. Like, I mean, I'm a spiritual person, but I
We have a
mean,
clip.
like spirit science is fucking crazy.
Here's the clip of him saying it.
All right, yeah, let's hear it. Human history. There's that Mars. Oh wait, that was her.
No, that's Thoth.
Oh.
The one, Thoth. The one
To fill these
Oh,
two
cool.
empty vortexes, according to Thoth, two extraterrestrial races stepped in. Not one, but two completely different races. The first race were the Hebrews, coming from our future. Thoth
What?
says that they came from off planet, but we don't know where exactly. The Hebrews were kind of like a kid who went through 5th grade and didn't make it, so they had to do that grade over again. They
What
learned all
the
the math and
fuck?
the left brain stuff, but they didn't get the right brain aspect of evolving consciousness.
What the shit?
To the next level of evolution,
That
they
is
had to do it again.
that is so fucked up. Oh my god.
Brought many concepts and ideas to us that we weren't aware of yet.
Holy shit.
Now, if this is true, this would explain quite a few things about the Hebrew people in general.
That's not true. No, stop.
It's true.
It
What the
also puts
fuck?
perspective on the story of
The
Exodus,
Christ
where
Sophia
Moses
said that to
incarnated into
Jordan
that
D
lifetime to
when he
free the
drank
Hebrews
all that
because they were not
ayahuasca
direct
tea.
descendants of humans and were being treated unfairly. Or could it be that Moses was visited by an ascended master of the Hebrews who guided him to free their people? Given what we know about dimensions of consciousness, it definitely puts
The
a fresh
Jewish
perspective
aliens
on old
gave
stories that
Moses
didn't
his
make much
powers to
sense.
part the Red Sea.
This is yeah, shit like that. That's insane. I mean, as cool as it sounds, it's just that's insanity.
What
Like,
do you mean, dude?
I mean, like seriously, like Jewish people are like time traveling aliens from outer space. Like, what the
What are you
fuck?
talking about? That's true.
Just what the shit is
It
this?
says so right in the Old Testament.
There's just
It's right. Have you read the Old Testament? It's in there. It says
like
it right there.
where, like where in the Old?
Genesis, right, Ryan? Genesis. Yeah.
Doesn't it actually say that in the Old Testament?
Yeah, it says that the Hebrews are from another planet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, it actually says that in the Old Testament?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't say planet because it was heliocentric, but it says
Oh
that
yeah.
they're from like another star.
Oh. Well, I mean, the Old Testament's fucking crazy too. I mean, like it's like I mean, this is what I think
And
of
that's
like
how it kind of.
religions and cults in
Yeah, that's how
general.
like the Bible kind of explains how like we shouldn't hate Jews.
Oh, I see. Because they're like essentially ascended masters of
Yeah.
like spirituality and
Because
shit.
they're because they're it's like it's kind of like their future Christians that sort of like came. It's kind of like, but they're like more. They're sort of like kind of more advanced Christians, but like they didn't have Jesus to save them, so they're like in this weird fugue state.
Hmm.
Jews.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what it says in Genesis, right?
Yeah.
You know, that
It's,
actually sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, you should read Genesis.
It's mid.
I mean, I've been reading Genesis, but like just I don't know. I didn't really get that far. I don't know if I even intend to read the entire Bible. I mean, like I'm not even Christian. Like I'm a former Christian, but
Christian.
I'm atheist now. Um, I mean, if I want to read like any religious text, I want at least a variety. I don't want to just focus on Christianity. Like, I mean, I want to explore other stuff. Like, I
What about
mean,
the Sonichu
like
comics?
Sikhism and like Buddhism, stuff like that.
What about Quickism?
What the fuck is Quickism?
Read the Sonichu comics.
Oh, that. I mean, I am a bit tempted to read them. Are they online or something?
Yeah, they're also like there's also a basically like an audiobook version on YouTube, I believe.
Have you read them or listened to them? Whichever.
I've read a few of them.
Oh, were they? Were they shit? Because they look like shit.
Yeah, I mean like it's mainly like the what gives the Sanju comics their value is knowing about who Christian is really. Because
Yeah,
what
that makes
Christian
sense.
does is if something he doesn't like happens, then they write about it in a comic with
So, like,
thinly veiled like metaphors, and they change their own names. But it's like basically it's just like you know.
so it's
I
basically.
saw Alexander Kuang at Walmart buying Oreos. So then he in his comic he's just like I met Alex K and he was an evil Nazi buying evil Nazi-Os and he came to me and he said I'll kneel on any black man's neck within a 5 mile radius.
So basically, like,
So
so he uses his comics to like vent and stuff.
yeah, vent and then sort of vilify anyone who slightly ever did anything he didn't like.
Shit. I mean, honestly, that does sound kind of funny.
So yeah, with the context, the Sanchu comics are a lot better.
You know what? Maybe I'll read some just because fuck it.
Gotta finish the Christian documentary first.
Ugh,
Aren't you?
that documentary's too long. I can't fucking watch all this shit. I mean, maybe I'll watch a
It
few
also
more.
says in the Bible that black people have to be circumcised a different way. Like it calls them the darker skin and dwell in a separate part of the land.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, but
Wow.
it calls them darker skin. It doesn't call them black.
Ugh, fuck the Bible.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
It
The
also
Bible
calls them
is
the
like
bears of Cain, right? Where
Yeah,
they talk about the mark of Cain.
yeah, dude. The Bible is like definitely racist, and it definitely like justifies like slavery and shit like that.
make
Yeah.
an offering for me. Get a 3-year-old Martin Luther King and put that nigger on the altar.
God,
You think Martin Luther King would be in favor of mortgage assistance?
that is a good question. Honestly, it's a
No,
bit.
because
It's a
he
bit
can pay
tough.
his mortgage. Okay?
I had a dream. I didn't want to pay for a house.
It is. I will say it is a bit tough to pinpoint exactly what kind of political ideology.
I had a
Martin Luther-
dream where I didn't have to work a day in my life.
God damn it, bro. Yeah, it is a bit difficult to tell what kind of political ideology Martin Luther King Jr. had.
It was a socialist.
Like he did. Some people do actually
He was a
argue he was
communist.
a socialist. Some people say he's a liberal.
He was entitled.
Even a few people even say he was conservative, which I think is crazy.
Why would they say he's conservative?
Like basically PragerU says he's conservative.
A conservative would have agreed with the 13th.
Yeah. Like they basically use the whole argument like, oh, conservatives like in the 60s wanted black equality. Just the whole PragerU logic, just basic dumb shit. That's basically how they say it. But yeah, some people do consider him to be a socialist. I mean, I can see why. He is pretty he does definitely stand for like social and economic justice. That is
Like
true.
the Chad sitting on Malcolm X.
Oh yeah, definitely him.
What would you say Malcolm X was?
Well, that is also a bit tough to say.
I think he was black.
I think you could argue he actually was a fascist. Because I mean, he is after all, like he did call for an ethno state for like black people. Um, and like he did, and he was pro segregation. I agree with Malcolm X on some things. I do.
Chad.
I agree that black people are oppressed and that something needs to be done about it. However, I just don't
I don't.
agree with his approach.
What's wrong with his approach?
Well, his approach is just straight up fascism. I mean, like, you can't just have a black ethno state and consider that to be like black liberation. I mean that that's literally just
I don't
it's
know.
fascism.
His
Fascism
proposition was
oppresses
just
everyone.
like, let's leave and do something better.
I mean, like that's a way. That's definitely how you like simplify it. But he was essentially calling for an ethno state, and I mean, like ethno states are inherently fascist.
I mean, I think in that capacity, it was more of a consequence of liberation.
I think it was just based off the circumstances. They were faced like how oppressed black people were back then.
I mean,
So they're
I
like,
agree.
oh,
I could see.
let's go somewhere where we won't all be oppressed.
I mean, I can agree. I see how he came to that conclusion, and I can see where he's coming from. I agree that, like, I can understand that he's sick and tired of all the bullshit that black people
You have to
had to go
consider
through
that
and still go through.
it probably wasn't going to be like super black because he kind of he made a lot of implications about an integration with Islam.
Well, I mean, didn't he want, like, mostly black Muslims and not really, like, Muslims?
Well, I mean, he worked with Muslims, like not black, but like
Okay,
Muslims.
yeah, that's fair.
He was mentored by Elijah Muhammad, who was like leading Islam. He was the leader of an Islamic movement.
I guess maybe that would make it less of an ethno state. Well,
So-
unless it would be like a black Islamist ethno state.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it would just be more of like a Muslim sort of thing, where they were just
Oh, a Muslim ethno
like a
state.
Muslim congregation.
So basically like Israel but for Muslims.
Yeah.
I mean, Israel is fascist. Like Israel is essentially a Nazi country, I'd argue. So I mean, you could argue the same thing about Malcolm X's
But I mean,
proposition
it
as
wouldn't
well.
really be much of an ethno state
Well, why
because it's
not?
not a specific ethnicity. If you're combining black Muslims with like the generic Muslim,
Well, I mean, it'd still be a Muslim ethno state, though.
but how does that? But that's not really an ethnicity.
I mean, like it's a religion, and you can argue like we're kind of getting into
Well, the
like
big reason why like a
like
lot
what
of
counts.
religious things would be ethnostates is because like usually like religious cultures like they kind of have like this stagnant gene pool where there's not a lot of genetic diversity.
Well, we're kind of getting into
So,
like whether like religion versus race versus ethnicity, and whether you count certain religions as races or not. Like it, like this is a whole other can of worms. I mean,
but
I
like
guess I guess we can go
but
into
like
it a
black
bit.
people aren't
But like,
originally Muslim. They would convert to Islam.
hmm. I mean, I can see where you're coming
So it
from.
wouldn't really
Like,
be an ethnostate if you're getting people who one were never like they're not related to like Muslims genetically.
well,
So
I
it wouldn't
mean,
be an ethnostate.
would it? By the way, we're running a bit low on time, but I will ask you this. Like, would this ethno state allow for non-Muslims, or would you have to convert to Islam to be a part of Malcolm X's ethno state?
I don't think you'd have to convert to Islam.
Well, I mean, I guess if you wouldn't have to convert to Islam, then I suppose so. I guess you could argue it's more of like a strict authoritarian state for oppressed individuals. I mean, I'd still say it's authoritarian though. I don't. I guess since it's a little bit diverse, maybe you can say it's not fascist, but like it's still at least, at the very least, authoritarian.
Well, I don't know how
Which is,
authoritarian it would be, really. That was never really just like talked about.
well, I mean, like you'd kind of be, not letting certain people in, like white people.
Well, they didn't really say much about not letting white people in. They just said that black people should go away, should
Hmm.
go to somewhere else where they're not being oppressed.
I don't know. He kind of made it seem like white people weren't welcome.
Well,
Like,
he said that he'd have white allies,
hmm,
basically.
hmm, maybe. Well, hmm, possibly.
Most
Uh,
white
I
people
don't know.
hate
It
black
it just
people, I
seems
think.
pretty authoritarian to me. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk about this more some other time. I'd say this is honestly the most interesting topic we've covered tonight. But
Yeah. Joe Biden's fried chicken assistants, I agree.
yeah, dude. But yeah, it honestly is getting a bit late. But yeah, nice discussion, guys. Yeah. Also, sorry I haven't posted in a while. It's just I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have that much of an excuse. I've kind of just been just doing stuff, just living life, having fun in summer. Like I'm not like
Is the new View dying? Is it losing steam?
I don't want to say it's dying, but like I mean, I'd say like for the summer at least, like it's probably like we're probably gonna post these like not as often.
You're gonna have summers off.
Yeah, dude, summer's off. I mean like
You
and
don't
I
have
mean
to
in
work this
general
summer.
I've been becoming like less politically active. I mean, like I'm still a very political person. It's just like I'm politically exhausted as fuck.
Did you see Donald Trump said he came to a decision on whether or not he was gonna run?
Oh boy. How about we talk about that in the next episode? Because
He was on Fox News and he said,
Jesus fuck. Man.
you want to know what he said he was gonna do?
Let me guess. He's gonna run.
We'll see.
All right, we'll find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
It's gonna be
Alright,
close.
let's wrap.
It's gonna be close, Ryan. All right, but yeah, I guess that's about it.
See ya.
Donald
So yeah,
Trump 2024. Let's go.
fuck Trump.
Fuck you.
Fuck Trump.